Okay, so Photoshop is very much about selections. What we can do is we can select different pieces and put them into different pictures. Okay, so two tools that are really popular are the quick selection and the magic wand. Now, this is how the magic wand tool works. What I want to do is I have up here the word tolerance. Now, the word tolerance has to do with the range of colors when we're sampling. Contiguous means we want colors that are next to one another. So if I click, I can see I've started to, and I got most of that gray color. Now, if I hold down Shift, I can continue to add to my selection until I can get mostly all of this little guy. Okay, but now see, I ended up getting all of him and I didn't want that. So what I could do to delete this is if I hold down Option and start clicking, then I start taking away some of these different selections. So we can see that, sometimes the magic wand is going to be what we want. So I hold down Shift to add to the selection. Um, but sometimes, the magic wand, there's going to be too much difference in the colors that's actually going to be very hard to get that selection. But what I've been able to do pretty successfully right now is add all of these different pieces to my selection by continuing to click. But I can tell that the magic wand wouldn't be the best way to do this. So what I want to do is I'm going to come to select and I'm going to deselect. And probably the quick selection tool is very quick, especially when the objects around it are very different. So I come to the quick selection and I can see up here that I have add to my selection and subtract to my selection. So I can come on in here, I have it set at 16 pixels and I can click and I can see actually that he's actually very pretty easy to select because he's got green all around him and the green is pretty different than what's there. Okay, now if I want to continue to add to this selection, I'm going to hold down my Shift and there I have it. Now, what I want to do though is I want to get rid of this green right here. And actually, if I want to keep adding to this, I can hold down my Shift. All right, so if I want to get rid of it, I come here, grab my minus, and come on in and start to take that portion away. And then I'm pushing my selection up closer to him. And with this image in particular, it'd be pretty easy to just get him. Again, the reason being is because the green is just so different than what's around him. I could even come in and delete these pixels in here. All right, and there I have it. Now, whatever I have in my selection, I could now take this selection, I could come edit, copy, edit, paste. Now you'll see whenever you paste something, it puts it in a new layer. Now I have him right in here. Now, if I wanted to too, I could go back a little bit further. And I'm going to come into my history and just go back a little bit further. So I come on in and I have him all selected. I could also come in here and refine my edge when I have this and I get a little preview. And if I wanted to feather my edge a couple pixels, well, you can see what happens here is the edge has more of this faded feel to it. I could add more contrast to my edge. And again, you can play around. I could smooth my edge. Okay, and you can really play around with this and see what you come up with. I'll hit OK. And what I'll do right now is edit copy, and I'm going to paste it into a new selection. Now, what else I can do is I can come to a new Photoshop document and I can paste it in also. Okay. So what I would want to do actually is I can drag and drop it. So here goes. I have disconnected this image right here. It's floating around. I can come back to this guy right here. I'm going to detach him also. And what I want to have are these two little floaters next to one another. But I've lost my one. All right, so what I could do instead is come on in, turn this one off. I'm going to grab my black arrow from my tools. Where are my tools? Where are they? Window, tools. There we go. Okay, so if I come and I just grab my black arrow, I come over to him, I can take him, I can drag him, I can drop him, and there we have him. Now, the story with that is all we see is his shirt, and we're thinking, oh no, well, the reason is because this image is so much bigger. So I come to free transform, zoom this on in, and again, it's because the pixel size is just so very different. I can take this, move this over. Again, when I do this, I want to hold down Shift and come from the edge and bring him on in right into here. I can place him like so, apply, and I can pull this over, and there we have it. Okay, so very easily, and we can see that he's in his own layer very easily, and it looks like when I changed his size that I didn't pull from the side and I warped him a little bit. So, and that's what happens. I'm trying to eyeball him up and fix him up here. So maybe if I wanted to take him and put him inside of this layer. Now, we have other things that we could do too. We can come on in and we could work with our layer styles. So I could come on in and grab for this layer my layer styles, and I could add a drop shadow to him. So there's a lot of possibilities within the layer styles too. We could say we will add a drop shadow, and we could make it normal. We could, all the possibilities are endless. We could even say have, an outer glow and hit OK. All right, so there we have it. Now we have this new type of image. Again, what we're looking at here really was just making selections and then extracting our selections out of our image. And we can extract them right out once we copy them by going Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste. Thanks for listening.